Hello, my name's Andrew, and today we're doing a sketchbook tour of the SUPERNOTE Nomad after my first 2 weeks. So I'm gonna be honest, like when I first got this thing, I was a little bit skeptical, and I thought it was gonna be one of those products where it seems fun at first, and then it kind of just sits on a shelf. But what I experienced with this is that it's kind of like drawing on paper plus some like magic minimal features and like a distraction-free environment for you to draw. So I ended up drawing more on this in the past 2 weeks than I've drawn in the entire past year. Part of that is because I'm working on this van build right now, and I just like haven't had the time or energy, and it seems like every time I like open up my journal to draw something, I just kind of get sidetracked. So anyways, the first thing I drew with the SUPERNOTE was this sketch here. And this is kind of what I was talking about with like the fun gimmick aspect. It looked cool, but I was like, I didn't put a ton of work into it. You know, the line work is just kind of like sketchy, and I was like, yeah, this is fun, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with it beyond this. And then I did another drawing, which is this kind of like to-do list thing. And it was kind of interesting because I put more work into the lines, and it came out looking really clean. It actually looked just like the old comic style that I used to do with my iPad before I got rid of it because I was just really struggling with eye strain, you know? So like, this was the moment when it kind of clicked for me, because I thought, okay, not only can I do like sketching and ideation on this thing, but I can actually produce some like finished artwork that I could put in a book that I could be, you know, proud of. That I could get like OCD with the details, you know, because there are different layers and different brushes if you want them. I mostly use the same brush over and over again because I just like to keep things simple. But anyways, I started doing other drawings, and one thing I really like right away is that like you can put things in folders. So I've got a folder for cyberpunk drawings, which I'm kind of brainstorming for maybe a graphic novel. And then I have another one, it's daily log. But the other thing I've been doing is making sketches for my van. And I started doing these like icons, you know, for video as well, that had to do with like the van build videos that I was making. So it works really well for like a sort of graphic comic style. I think if you were doing like full on artwork, you know, with multiple layers and like intricate details, you'd probably want like the bigger version that SUPERNOTE's going to come out with, because I feel like it might be hard, you know, to do that on something this small. I think this is better for bigger lines, comics, you know, stuff like that. But anyways, I also have been doing like schematics for my van. So here's an example of this folding mattress design that I came up with. And I started getting almost right away really good at drawing 3D stuff, which has been a struggle for me on paper, because part of the problem is like when you're drawing on paper, if you mess something up, you have to erase it, and then things start getting messy really quickly. But with the SUPERNOTE tablet, you can just like draw a line. Like when I was starting out drawing the bed and trying to get the angle right, and then trying to get the angle of, you know, the other side of it right, you can just do it over and over and over again and just keep pressing the redo button, or the undo button. And so it's actually really good for practicing your line work and getting better. I had another schematic that I did, which is for, this is actually a really cool idea. It was for stowing. I wanted to figure out how to put a drum set in my van, right? So I thought if I got a 24-inch kick drum, I could put it inside of a stool-like container so that I could flip the lid open and then like sit on it when I wasn't playing the drum set. And because it was shallow, it would like fit in there. And then I thought, well, I have this like folding wool futon thing too, so I could put that in the other one. And then I did another drawing where I'm going to have like a desk in the back, and then I was gonna like stow those little, I don't know what you would call them, they're like seat boxes or something. This drawing is really cool. This is one of my favorites. I'm just gonna get the UI little sidebar out of the way. But yeah, so like here you can see the same boxes for the drum, or I guess this one's for the drum and this one's for the wool futon. Then you kind of like put them on their side under the desk. There's my desk, there's the speakers, the monitor that I want to have, and then a little shelf up there with a camera and a cactus and everything. But yeah, you can see that I'm already getting better at line work and also better at arranging things visually. Like this is pretty complicated. I've never done anything this complicated 3D, you know? It's been like really intimidating for me, but having the layers is super helpful. And usually what I do is that like when I'm starting a new object, like if I'm draw the desk, and then I'll start a new layer, and then I'll draw the speaker, like just the outline, the ink for it. And then once I have it into place, I'll just kind of like merge the layers down. And then when I'm coloring things, I'll make another layer, put it down below, and then like kind of like color stuff in. And then, you know, it always gives me the option to delete it if I don't like it, or then I can merge that down. And I think it's limited to 5 layers, which at first I was like, uh-oh, this could be a problem because I'm used to having like 20 layers in Procreate. But I haven't found it to be an issue because I just use this technique of like drawing something and then creating a new layer, drawing something else, and then when I'm satisfied with it, like combine things. And you can also use another technique where you can just like put things in different areas on the same layer, and then you can use the lasso tool. Oh my god, I'm really struggling. Lasso tool to like select it and then move things around, and you don't get the problem of like layer overlap if you're placing things in different layers. So that's just a technique that you can use. I also did these kind of like layout drawings for like the floor plan of my van, and I found that to be really helpful when I was like cutting wood and stuff, because then I can even move things around. Like if there's I was making lines here for where the beams need to go, and you can just drag these, you know, you can just select them with the lasso tool and drag them around. So it's really good for 2D layouts as well. Here's another 3D drawing that I like. This is the other side of the van. This is gonna be right over there, and I'm gonna have a tiny wood stove, and then my bed. This is the folding bed that I was talking about that was fitting into that box. So that would go on the floor when I wanted to use it, and there's a tiny wood stove there, some storage for wood, cabinets, etc. And then here's the desk just from a different view. And just like in terms of how the lines look, I'm using, let's see what it's called. It's called it's the pressure sensitive marker. And I really like it because you can see that the line has some variation to it. So like if you press really hard, it's very dark. And then if you let go, it has more of like a dried marker type look. So you do have the option to use color. Here's the color palette there. But what I do most of the time is that I just like draw lightly, and then as you can see, like all of this stuff, all of this shading, these, you know, darker colors, lighter colors, this is all done with the same marker and the same color, the darkest dark that you can use. But if you use less pressure, it lightens up. So yeah, I found it's really nice for creating value in your drawings. Let's see what else we've got. Oh yeah, this is probably the most complicated one that I've done. This is the other side, it's that side of the van. So we're sitting right here right now. This would be behind the bookcase. In the middle, there's like a bookcase door that'll like swing out. So the bookcase door will be right here. And then there might be some like shelves and other stuff. Here's the kitchen area, you know, your sink. I didn't kind of fully go out with like the oven because I'm not sure where to put that stuff yet, but it's really helpful to have this like visual 3D guide, you know. And then we've got the drum set and stuff, which would store in those little cubbies, and then the desk. So I really like this drawing. This is probably the most complicated drawing that I've done, honestly, in 3D ever. I also liked it for making little notes on the sizes of things that I wanted to put in my van. You know, like here's the tiny wood stove, and then you've got the measurements here. Another thing I've drawn is just these little thank you sketches. Like if someone does something nice for me, like my naturopath answered a question that I had, so I just sent her a little thank you. I had asked her about whether a wood stove was safe or not, you know, so I just drew this little like wood stove with feet, and I attached it to the email. That's another thing I like about SUPERNOTE is that there's a Dropbox integration. So I'll show you, like, this is the export folder right here. You can see it says export. So anything that you draw in here automatically just shows up on your Dropbox folder. And then the final thing I've been doing with it is just like character sketches. I made this little wasteland character. I'm not sure what's going on with her hair, but yeah, she's coming out of her little hovel or something. For some reason, she has like Johnny Bravo sunglasses and then like a Native American feather in her hair. I don't even know what's going on with this drawing. And then she's got like a knife behind her back and some kind of laser gun. But yeah, I was just messing around. And then this one I liked even more. I did this kind of like Wastelander character, and he's got this cool mech chair thing. And I don't know, maybe he's thinking about his former life as a YouTuber before the world exploded, and now he's just struggling for survival. Did a little gun there. It looks very Dave Pilkey-ish. I think drawing in a comic style, which is cool. So yeah, that's my mini sketchbook tour of the SUPERNOTE Nomad after 2 weeks. But if you'd like to support the channel, you can shop the referral links down below. Check out my 365 comics video to see all the illustrations from my first book, or browse my van life playlist to see some of my SUPERNOTE sketches come to life.